Welcome to my channel, and thank you for spending some time with me today. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but welcome back, and thank you to all of my subscribers. I'm so excited to share today's video with you because I'm really in love with how this project turned out. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I set up a 2022 Hobonichi Weeks planner to use as a long-term, multi-year media log and media journal. While I unbox it, let me explain my thought process behind using the weeks for this project. In 2022, I started using Notion, where I was keeping a log of the TV shows and movies I watched. Unfortunately, probably due to my own error, most of my media log was erased somehow. I wanted to continue my media log, but this time I decided to try doing it on paper. Whatever book I chose, I needed to come up with a really good index system since the main purpose of this is to be able to log and reference certain information easily. I also wanted a space to try out media journaling for the first time, but I don't want to journal about every single show or movie. So I needed a book that would give me the space to do both, and eventually I settled on using a Hobonichi Weeks. Since I'm not going to be using the dates printed in the traditional way, I realized I could use an outdated planner to save some money. Many 2022 Hobonichi products were steeply discounted on Amazon recently, so I ended up getting a 2022 Weeks Mega for half price. Before I went ahead with purchasing the Weeks, I wanted to be certain that it would work for my needs. So I drew a mock-up of the Weeks layout in my Hobonichi plain notebook to test it out. I originally did that in pencil, so I went over it in pen for the video to help you see it better. After figuring out a layout that I was really excited about, I went ahead and ordered the Weeks. Although Notion failed me, or maybe I just failed at using Notion, I did still have the titles of what I watched written in my diary. So thankfully I have a record of almost everything I watched in 2022, and that's what I've used to start setting this up with. Here's the system I've settled on. The media log will use the monthly and weekly sections, and the media journal will use the grid memo pages in the back of the book. In the monthly section, the title of the entry goes into the first available box, and the corresponding printed date becomes that entry's index number. The monthly section covers from November 29th, 2021 through April 2nd, 2023, whereas the daily section ends on January 1st, 2023. So I've extended the weekly section to match the monthly via the grid memo pages in the back. And by doing this Hobonichi Weeks gives me space for 489 entries. To put that into perspective, in 2022 I have record of watching 95 TV shows and movies, and I can say without a doubt that this is the most I've ever watched in a year. So this one book should be able to log my media for 5 years. Along with the title, these boxes will be marked with color-coded washi stickers. The red stickers for me are the most important, and it's really what spurred my entire media log keeping in the first place, and that is whether or not I think that show or movie is rewatchable. Yellow is reserved for my favorites, and orange means that I'm currently watching or it's unfinished but I intend to go back and finish it. These are Stalogy masking patches, and I got them because their 5mm size is perfect for the weeks. They're removable, the colors don't clash with the cover, and they should be fairly easy to repurchase in the future when I run out. In the margins of the monthly section, I'll pencil in the most recent rewatch date for each entry, as well as how many times I've watched it. Next is the weekly section, which has more details about each entry. On the left page, I write out the titles, and the color-coded stickers go beneath the index number. Then I give it a star rating. On the right page, I block off 4 sections for each entry. On the first 2 of these pages I tried blocking it off with different pens and alternating colors, but it ended up looking messy, so I simplified it for the rest of the pages by only using black ink for text, and I used gray ink to mark the sections off so it would be a little bit more subtle. In the upper left, I write the original airing network and release year. Below that, I add the date of my first watch. Sometimes these are estimates, which I signify as around a certain year or between these years. The top right section is mostly used for K-dramas, which make up the majority of my log. I write the names of any notable actors to me, so it's typically the main cast, K-pop idols, and actors I recognize from other shows. Finally, the bottom right is for main genres, plus any content tags I want to add. I don't think too hard about it. I just put stuff in that I think will jog my memory if I'm wondering, what was that show about again? This space will also be the index for the media journal in the back of the book. So in the leftover space behind the genres and tags, I'll add any relevant journaling page numbers. As for the media journaling, since I've never done it before, I don't know what form it will take just yet. I'm thinking it will probably end up being wall of text notes with some creative journaling spreads once in a while, but I'm not going to limit myself. The media log portion of this book is so rigid, but the journal doesn't need to be like that at all, so I'm going to give myself total freedom there. So I started setting this up 3 weeks ago now. Actually, I think it's 4 weeks. Hold up, wait a minute. So it's been a month since I started setting this book up. And since I added the whole of 2022 almost at once, it did take me a few sessions to look up the information and copy it down for each entry. But once I got caught up and I was able to use it normally, I was really happy with the system. It takes hardly any time to log a single entry, and even if I backlog several, as long as I note the title and watch dates, the other information I'm logging is so basic that it never feels tedious. I was having a little trouble navigating to certain pages, so I tried adding book darts to use as index tabs, but they really don't work well for that purpose. Book darts are really intended to be used as a bookmark, and that is what they do best. So I ended up using washi tape to make my own index tabs. I thought about doing this with sticker paper, but I was really afraid to mess it up, and I'm so glad that I used washi because I made so many mistakes. I accidentally stuck 2 pages together once, but with the washi that really wasn't a problem because I can easily peel it up and fix it, adjust the width, adjust the placement, and avoid destroying my pages. And it worked out really well. I'm really happy with how it looks. I wanted it to have a very minimal, very unobtrusive look, so the white washi tape was best for this. And I ended up filling in the numbers with a waterproof platinum brush pen that I got from Daiso. I also added washi tabs to the monthly section, but I didn't number these. They're just placed to help me flip through these pages quicker, since this is the main index, and I would be looking for information here before going to that entry's more detailed information in the weekly section. The Mickey tabs mark the current pages in the monthly, weekly, and journal section. So as of right now, my media log is complete. I will continue to add to it as I go, but the setup is done. It's been a long process to get here. There was a lot of twists and turns and second thoughts and second guessing and stress because I'm always stressed. But in the end, I really think it's perfect. I really think it's perfect. As much as I loved my Notion media log, there's something special and fascinating to me about having a handwritten record of everything I watched. And of course, it's functional as a reference for me. Never again will I start rewatching a show I remembered liking, only to get to the last few episodes and remember that the ending is terrible. Overall, I think this is a great use for an outdated or unused planner, no matter what brand, but for my needs, the weeks ended up being a perfect fit. If you have any questions about how I set things up, I'll be happy to answer them. I would love to talk about this more. Have you ever used a planner to index something like this? Please let me know. I'd love to talk about it. The products I used today will be in the description box if you have any questions about those. And please let me know if you have any ideas for how you could apply something similar to this to one of your own outdated or unused planners. I would really love to hear them. I'm kind of obsessed with this. I can't wait to see what my media log looks like at the end of 5 years. I'm kind of upset that I didn't like figure this out earlier, because I would love to look back and see what I was watching in past years. But now I'm logging that information and I have a place for it, and it's not gonna leave my desk area, so I can't lose it, I can't delete it, and hopefully nothing ever happens to it and I never misplace it or something. But I'm gonna keep it safe. I will not accidentally delete it off the face of the earth. Oh, if you have any tips on media journaling, I would love to hear them, because I've been searching inspiration for media journaling and I just really don't know. Like, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like it's just gonna turn into me taking notes, which is totally fine. I'm a text-heavy journaler. I'm less of a creative journaler and more of a written journaler, but that's part of the reason why I'm doing this with the journal in the back, is to have that space for creative freedom. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year!